How am I gonna win against the rebels? No clue. It's impossible. It's a troubling time. It's a troubling time in our nation. All the subjects have turned on me. It's terrible, really. I feel betrayed. Not really sure how to deal with it, though. Well, I know one way how to deal with it. The Great Purge. I'm not making money because all my subjects are disloyal. See this? I think my leader died and then everything turned into vassals instead of fiefdoms or something like that. Something bad happened. I just got up for the day. I don't really care if anyone else is streaming. I mostly record. True. True. The cursed sleep schedule. What can you do, right? How come Burgundy wants to be in every war? Burgundy, why are you in every war? You're not going to be able to keep getting away with this. I guess it doesn't really matter. I could just annex the people anyways. But Burgundy wants to show up in every war. Yeah, I didn't want it to be like this. My subjects just, you know, they chose this. Not really sure how to get them loyal again, but murder. It's like they woke up one day and decided that they all hated me. It has something to do with my ruler dying, though. Because all my fiefdoms turned into vassals, and then they all became one giant pool of mad. So it seems like a... Not necessarily trying to take over the world, but just trying to take over my subjects' land, you know? Just trying to... I'm a simple person who just wants loyal subjects. That's all. But who knows why Burgundy's in every war, I don't know. Kind of getting annoyed by it. For some reason, every disloyal subject, he's here. I guess I'll just have to kill you. That's really what you want? I'm gonna go into debt. I have tribes now. Fancy. I'm really gonna go into debt because I lowered my legitimacy. I don't know why Burgundy gets involved in every war, but I'm like kind of over at Burgundy. You're not even the real Burgundy. Yeah, Burgundy's getting annexed this time. He wants to be in every one of my subject wars for some reason. Much deserved annexation too. There's definitely some issues with the nation right now, though. Like the whole, we're all the soil thing. But, Burgundy's gone. If he wants to just be annoying. I don't mind. Although I just got another subject I didn't want. It's a fiefdom, though. I can handle those. Is there any way to... You have to have a loyal subject to change them to fiefdoms, right? Like, if they weren't all freaking... Maybe they'd be loyal if they weren't all subjects, but I don't know what I can do about it. Oh, then just go through and annex them one at a time, I guess. But this wasn't the plan. I was supposed to be able to annex them. Peacefully. Even they're disloyal? How are they a vassal? I thought they were... What happened? Wait a minute. I don't even have appanages anymore? What? So all my vassals just turned to vassals instead of fiefdoms, and... It's so weird. Like, lost all my appanages as well, which I guess is fine. I'll murder them as well. Maybe that's why it's all disloyal, because these giant subjects are now disloyal as well. I don't even know how that happens, though. These guys an appanage? Yes. How did... I don't understand. How did all my subjects just lose their special statuses? Become bullies? That's fun. Somehow all my subjects just decided, yeah, we're gonna all be vassals now. Forget the appanage thing. We're done with that. Except for a couple of them. But like Brittany's just like, what the heck, man? I thought we were cool. Nope. Not cool. Same with Normandy. Weird. $15.10, good hell. We're in a bit of a crisis, right? That's all it is. when the subjects betray you. Feels bad, man. That's so much for my little army. It feels like 270 a month. It's got like 10,000 guys. Crazy. Loyal subjects, yeah, right. Anything but loyal. I've seen the posts about next patch. Some of them, but not really. Everyone's wanting to follow Tinto Talks that closely, to be honest. What the hell? Disloyal sin. This wasn't the plan. But I guess it is what it is. I don't know what else to do besides what we're doing here. Everyone just decided it was time to be disloyal. It happens in the mid 1400s for some reason. I guess that means there's only one answer. I guess I'm gonna start annexing the bigger subjects that are annexable. But all my money's gone. It's sad. I don't pay for difficult spending anymore. You know, I'm just poor. Should save more money, you know. You never know when you're gonna have to murder all your subjects. I didn't prepare for it, right? That was the issue. But yeah, this definitely wasn't the plan. Loyal subject is crazy. Because we have to. They're Giga disloyal. For some reason, they all turned to... All my subjects turned into the same subject type for some reason. Maybe something to do with my leader dying or something like this. So all the fiefdoms that I had were turned into vassals, so everything's a vassal, and then all their powers combined. And it's like negative 100% for all subjects. Like this. Well, it used to be 100, now it's 91. So you just have to murder them until they're not as mad, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why it happened. Nope, I didn't change any succession laws. My guy just died, and there was no ruler. I probably was lazy and didn't marry my king or something. Be my guess. Yeah, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but what you do, right? Hello. Yeah, it's just murder. Wait, Brittany supported independence somehow? Oh, whatever. How did my subject support the independence? Who knows? Well, your turn to be annexed, Brittany. Normandy did too. What the hell? I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to it. Sounds like they're invalidating control mechanics, which is like whatever, I guess. I don't care. I think Paradox is doing the classic dev thing where they should be working on what actually is the problem, and instead they're doing some random bullshit. Like making new features and such. I'm like, fix the problems first, and then we can worry about the next stuff, right? Like, Fords are a bigger issue than control, in my opinion. Like, the lack of CBs is a much bigger issue than anything that's being worked on 1.1. The game doesn't need massive swaths of changes, it needs fixes of core mechanics. That's my opinion, generally. Good, I'm gonna annex everyone. You know, I'm glad these guys are disloyal. They're all getting annexed. Saves me the trouble. Thank you for that, guys. Good. Yeah, Brittany's getting annexed for just trying to support independence. Unlucky, guys. So is Normandy. And Flanders will be gone soon, too. Didn't have to be like this. Maybe taking out some of these bigger subjects will actually make a difference, though. It's like, I don't want to have to murder all my subjects. I'd rather not. But, you know, if I have to, I have to. They're down to negative 78, which is better. But still not good enough. Well, let the murders continue. I can't even annex Normandy. That's annoying. Wait, maybe I could if I get the fort. Let's try it now. No. Well, fine. You can keep a few locations, Normandy. I'll come back for you later. Think about what you've done in the meantime. Who's this? I don't even know. Bunch of disloyal subjects. They just got to be put down. Maybe eventually they'll be content, though. Negative 78 and now negative 82. Yeah, it's going to be a minute. There's going to be a lot more murders before these guys can stop being disloyal. They'll get there. Kind of, you know, it's just sad it came to this. We're such a thriving society, me and my subjects, but they decided to turn on me. And for what? It slowed down my conquest a bit, though. I wanted to be able to expand more, but game had other plans. What's this? Get rid of your cities, guys. You shouldn't have those. I want to annex faster. I got to delete all the cities. Still negative 81. Still nowhere close to where we need to be. Is that the Pope trying to hide over here? I didn't even know he was here. I thought that was just wasteland. But yeah, that he's hiding over there. Indeed. Truly. Truly. I'm indeed one of the best economy guys. How do you think I already saved 100,000 ducats in this campaign? You'll see it on the Victoria 3 forums where I posted the video. All right, Flanders. Have some independence. No, I don't have that feeling. What do you mean? No. Do I? You look at this campaign and you ask me, do I feel like I don't like to paint the map? No, I don't have any issues with this. I might need to. I think there was a lot of change I wanted to do. All right. But we gotta get more integration speed. Because now we have to integrate ourselves because, you know, just sold subjects and such. It's the hard times. Subject betrayal. I completely disagree. But that's just me. This game feels really like you blob a lot, right? Blobbing's like the main thing, man. You can take more land than you could in this game too. It's like an endless blobbing thing, right? Like you don't get overextension. You're not like, you know. AU's still just a number. Who are you? Oh, good. I know who this person is, but I'm annexing them. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's really just more annoying because you have to siege every fort, which I think they should change. I think forts are the #1 issue in EU5. But that's, yeah, my opinion. I do think forts are the #1 issue, though, in the game. Shouldn't have these forts. Oh, that guy's disloyal? Of course he is. I don't have any cogs, though, yet. Could really use some cogs. These rebels over here. Well, they're not rebels, actually, in, you know, independence movement, but I got supported by those guys. It's not really an independence movement either. But hey, I'll take some of their land. Down to 90 subjects, but yeah, just have to keep the murder going. What do you do? When you have 1 million disloyal subjects, it's just hunting season, really. Someday I think they'll realize the error of their ways. They're down to negative 69, which is like closer to managing. Like, it might be possible to just manage that now. Ish. Maybe. Could try. See where we're at. We're getting closer. There's still a lot of disloyal though. Oops. I feel like the math isn't mathing here, you know? I mean, I might be able to just annex them the old-fashioned way at this point. If I support loyalists a bunch. I'm trying. Some of them are like... Some of them it's manageable, I think. So, you know, I don't necessarily want to have to murder them all. You know, I hate to even do it like they're, you know, they're down here putting in the work. If I tag into them, are they like, you know, they're like culture converting and conversion. Do I even want to annex these people down here? I don't know. What? Why those guys instantaneously annex? Whatever, I don't know. It's better not to ask questions. I don't know, I might be able to... Getting closer to being able to deal with these soul subjects, but... Seems like we have to, like, support loyalists and everybody. New law. Oh yeah, this thing. Efficiency of cabinet. I'm in debt now. It's over. Because I can't afford the Diplo spending anymore. Or the armies. Yeah. I don't tax the people enough is the issue, really. I don't even pay for food. I feel like I've already got everything I want in this age. I'm like, what else is even good? Kind of going into debt though, you know, it's hard out there. Diplo spending is ridiculous. I use subjects for too long, you know, that's my issue. Gotta remember that. Having a billion subjects only works for the first 100 years. And then the game, like, catches you. They're like, what are you doing? You're gonna have to go into debt for that. Oh well. The cycle of tax season shall begin. We'll just pay back our loans when it's tax season. I regret spending all my money on roads, you know. What can you do? Life got expensive. I don't know what happened. We're the richest nation in the world to can't have a steady balance anymore, you know? Overnight. Relying on the tax season as our only means to stave off debt. The fall from grace. This spending's just too much. What can you do? I can't even get out of debt during tax season. You know? It's the hard times. Just don't really have a better solution at the moment to this problem. Why am I building so many armories? Did that Parliament really do that for me? No. I have plenty of manpower. Thanks, game. I don't need 28 armories. Diplomatic spending's the killer, though. Oh, that might be too many annexations. That's fine. unfortunately don't have a solution to the economy issue. I mean, there are solutions. Like, I could turn off all my armories. Just shut down the nation, I guess. It's always a possibility. Not my favorite option, but, you know, it's an option. Staying afloat right now is just a little tough. Sure, you know, close the buildings. Close them all. No more manpower buildings. We don't pay for those anymore. They're outside of our budget. It's the freaking Diplo spending that's actually murder. And relative strength is just impossible to overcome. I really want to annex these people. I guess actually they're pretty Catholic down here. Sure. What needs to go? You know? Libraries, universities, counting houses. Get rid of them. I don't even know. I don't even like counting houses. Just turn off everything. Sacrifices have to be made. It's like, when will this get better? This is a real question. When will it stop being annoying? Not sure. Turned off all my buildings. It's working. Cathedrals, we don't pay for those. Look at the 0 loyalty. Negative. I suppose it gets worse. Like relative strength. Negative 82 is crazy. The game's like full of shit, thinking its subjects are 82% as strong as me. You got a debt, which I can do now that I don't pay for buildings. 100 IQ. Just turn everything off. This is the way. Who needs manpower? It's a crutch. Or universities or libraries. Like, I don't need that. Our cultural influence is already good enough. I feel like we live in the desperate times right now. Like, negative 81 just goes crazy. Like, relative strength, I'm like, I don't really feel like they're that strong compared to me. How are they getting such an insane modifier for that? They aren't that cool. And maybe I go back to murder. I don't know. I tried doing it the peaceful way. It's not working. This costs so much money. It's quite ridiculous. I feel like diplo spending is just something that should be adjusted. Just being, oh yeah, it costs 10% of your economic base. It's like, why? How is that the most expensive thing in my nation? Well, why? It just doesn't make any sense why that would be the most expensive thing in my nation. You can have one subject and it could be like the same, right? It's like dumb. It goes from paying for itself to like you can't afford it anymore. Also because all my subjects are disloyal forever, for all time. Probably should get back to murder. campaign definitely feels like I'm at war with myself for the last like 30 years. Not myself, mostly just my subjects. Yeah, the amount of money you pay them is just absurd. Like, you pay more to maintain your diplomats than to maintain your army. It's wild. There's no way, like, that's realistic, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I have, like, a couple loyal subjects. Apparently, I'm paying the rest to just be disloyal. I don't know. Skill issue on my part, I guess. No, this is bound to happen when... This is the normal cycle. It's very realistic. I don't know if that's the case. Imagine the U.S. paying more for Diplo spending than their army. That seems a little ridiculous. No, they are not. Like, look, think about this. What percentage of my money do I pay in Diplo spending? Like, if my income is 1,100, no shit, Sherlock. God. No, it's not weird. Sorry, that was mean. Yeah, 33% of my income is going to diplomatic spending. That's ridiculous. A third of my income? Like, how's that reasonable? That makes 0 sense. 1/3 of my money goes to diplomatic spending. I don't even recoup like anything. I guess I recoup a little bit of it, but still. Like, I already pay some magical cost of court cost that's based on my economic base too. Can I just like pretend I don't make money? Like, how do I delete everything that's producing quote unquote economic base? Will I play EU4? I don't know. No, I could never really figure out Morocco. I got busy playing the Disloyal Subject Simulator to ever try again. Subjects are a curse. Yeah, it's just like I literally closed down all my buildings right now because I had to. I closed down all my libraries and universities and armories just so I could stay afloat. And then people get too mad to freaking annex, which is crazy because apparently their relative power is better than mine, which makes 0 sense. All right. It's back to murder. What was I doing? I should have just kept murdering. How can these guys not just stay happy? Right. relative strength. Yeah, subjects are a curse. I mean, I think it just has to do with my leader dying or something like that. Like, but that, I don't know, it's ridiculous. Negative 77. Relative strength, it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm done with my subjects bullshit. Do you have cores on something? And you give it to a subject, do you instantly integrate them later? Just a random question. No, it's not worth farming pressure. They're not that great. I'm wondering if that's like the way, the more viable way to deal with subjects. Like, you integrate the land, and then you give it to a subject, and then you have them culture convert for you, and then you can just instantly annex them later when they're done culture converting. Does it work? So noticing that subjects are like useful for culture converting, like crazy useful. Because everything is completely French culture here. Why can't you play past 200 years? Who's this? What's going on over here? What is this? Oh, we're map mode. I'm like, what the hell? Let's see. They never culture converted, probably because I couldn't enforce culture anymore because they're so disloyal. Subjects are a pain in my ass, though. Like, I really don't understand Paradox's game design here. It's like, you start the game, you can have 150 subjects, and then you can't have half of that. Like, after 100 years or something. I'm not paying for this. I'm turning my nation back on. And then murdering every subject. Just doesn't make sense. Like, it would just be like, that's a bad experience for newer players anyways. Like, if I was a newer player, how frustrating would it be to feel like you can have a bunch of subjects because of your diplo capacity, but really you can't because relative strength when it's not like possible. It just like all of a sudden shoots up to the moon from being at 0. So confusing to reopen buildings. Because it doesn't show you. I'm reopening my nation. Who's the soil today? Oh yeah, because I turned up diplo spending. Oh well. I forget improving opinions. Not about that. Who's this? Why would I care if my younger sister gets Giga skills? Ignore gender limit for cabinet? Sure. Yeah, it's a very weird gameplay loop. I just feel like you need to be able, like, there's got to be a better, like, system for subjects in the future. It's freaking annoying right now. I hate the diplomat system. Doesn't even tell you what your disloyal subjects are either. Like your CBs, you just like can't see them until you break. Like that's so confusing. How do I know which ones I've gone and gotten disloyal subject with? Doesn't even tell me in this menu. Like unpressed CB, it doesn't even show up in that menu. It's freaking toxic. True. True. You just hope for improvements, right? You're just like, honestly, this situation isn't even what makes me the most upset, though. It's the forts, you know. I actually want to make a video about the things I find the least enjoyable about the game. I'd say the number one thing is the plus 100% cost for taking forts into peace deal if you don't occupy them or siege them. I mean, but that's just a problem with forts in general, right? And having way too many forts and them taking way too long to siege. At least if we murder these people, they've already converted to French culture for me. So I wish I could tell who I had disloyal subject on. The only way to tell is to try to get disloyal subject on them, and then it will tell you already have it. That's like the only way that I figured out how to tell if you have it. Like when you go create CV. Like I don't remember which ones I clicked. There's a million subjects. I also, this always triggers me. What else is random? But like, I would like to see my rebels, but my diplomacy is more important to me. And if I turn my rebels, I no longer can see my diplomacy. And it's like, it's triggering, you know? Like, I don't know how they should fix this, but it's just like, this is, I don't know, you know, it's just, can I please show like a couple of the top rebels? I don't need to see literally all of them. Right. It's, I think, I think it's the worst thing about the game. And maybe some people don't agree with me that, but I'm like, I think it's the thing I find the most frustrating with the game is requiring you to take 100% war score. With that in combination with the fort system just being bad in general. Because if the fort system wasn't bad, then occupying all the forts isn't bad, right? But the fort system is trash because they just copy pasted it from EU4, and I don't think it fits the EU5. Anyways, I know it's a hell of a rant, but I wish I didn't make all these subjects. Hindsight, I wouldn't have made all these subjects, I guess. Maybe I should kill subjects sooner. Like having to kill 72 of my own subjects, yeah, it's gonna be frustrating, right? Like you go from being able to comfortably have 130 plus subjects to like I can't have 75 anymore. Like I gotta cut down more than half all of a sudden because they hit. I think it's when they hit in H3 when they hit the professional true noobs. All of a sudden your ability to have subjects goes to like half. Do I have a claim here? Oh yeah. It's just bad design, really. Like, it's probably even effective to do this. In fact, it might be more effective. Like, honestly, when I think about it, I'm like, okay, if I changed one thing, what I probably would do is start killing my subjects sooner. Like, you know, let them culture convert for you, and then just release them to kill them, because then you can integrate at 100% speed, right? Like, is that really like where we're like? Is that the most effective thing to do? Maybe. Like, instead of integrating them, just kill them. So I mean, they're already your culture, right? You're not gonna have rebel issues. You're good, and they're gonna integrate 100% faster. Just continue the murder of my subjects, though. Yeah, you just release and attack them because it's part of your culture, anyways. So it's like stuff down here is like integrating real. Like I murdered all these people down here, right? I don't know why it's showing me that, but you can see the integration's like perfect because it's already my culture. So I integrate like super fast, right? Plus, like, look at this. I integrate so fast. It's all fully integrated, like, you know. I took this line because I was annoyed, but that's a different story. But like, I should just use subjects to culture convert. My question though too is like, okay, let's say you have like land like this, right? Would it be worse to just give it like these are your cores, right? Yeah, it's taking forever. Yeah, they fixed that on 1.11 or whatever. But I'm like, does it make sense to integrate your land, right, and then just release it as a subject? Like for example, would it instantly integrate at that point? Like, does anyone know how that works? Like, if you release, if it's your cores and you release it, when you go to integrate it, is it going to instantly integrate? I guess I could just test it at some point, but I'm like, that would actually seem like reasonable to just like make them culture convert for you and then instantly integrate them later. Like, if you don't have to wait for annexation, right? I'm not saying I know that how that works, but Castilian rebels. No, you don't lose cores. In fact, it's a way. It's a method that I tried using to get Reconquest one time. Is I would release my land to a subject, and then cancel the subject in hopes that I would kill the subject, and then I would get I would have Reconquest. There's better ways to go about doing that, but it's just something I tried at one point. It wasn't like an effective way to get Reconquest, but it was something that I tried. Although the point is that it's, I don't think it would be the issue, but I guess I should try it. Also, you integrate so fast if it's your culture, right? Yeah, I think I would play this different. Yeah, I'm 100% decentralized, of course. I think I would try this differently, maybe, though. Honestly, I think maybe killing subjects the second that they is like valuable, maybe. I think that might be the way. You integrate so fast, anyways. The second that you Like I've been able to integrate basically all of this really fast. Like maybe it's just the way that you make them culture convert for you, and then you don't even integrate them. You just kill them. You don't have to truce break. That's not a thing in the EU5. You literally just cancel subjects and there's no truce. You just go to war immediately. Kill. Jover. Yeah, I didn't really want this land up here. Basically what I'm thinking is like, what's a better way to use subjects, especially considering like the late game, right? And I'm like, I don't even know that you want to integrate them. So it takes forever to integrate them, you know? When you have like 100 or something. Like I'd rather just like have them culture convert for you and then just like release and kill them. And integrate yourself. No, I don't think it's something you'd want to do in the early game necessarily, but maybe. The idea would be like, or the alternative idea would be like, okay, let's say you integrate the land, but it's not your culture, right? So like, is there a scenario like for example, like this, right? So actually, let's just run a test here. We'll create a subject over here. And we can make them a fiefdom. That way they shouldn't be disloyal anyways. But the question is... Oh, they're not going to be my cores, are they? Okay, well, that didn't work. I think they have to... I thought they would be your cores, but I guess not. How do you get cores then? Or is it only works on your actual cores? That may be the case. Because I thought those would be my cores, because I integrated them. I guess stuff only counts as your cores, I guess, if it's the green, right? That's right. Although it's their cores immediately. But I mean, still, it's like, it could be worth just to give it away and then to make them culture convert for you. So I guess when you do that, if you want to get cores, it has to be your actual, like in the green, right? Okay, good to know. But I still think in, like, just the ability to have them culture convert for you immediately, right? Or would they? Yeah, they will, probably. Give them a few months. Yeah, they immediately will start culture converting for you. I mean, they're super disloyal. -9. Oh, wait. That's because I made them culture convert. They're not really disloyal. But I'm like, is it worth just doing that so you don't have to culture convert? Like, it seems like it could be reasonable. Like, you know, if I just wanted to be all culture converted for me. I don't even need to... I'll just kill them. You know, I won't even integrate them when they're done. I'll just kill them. Oh, I can't. No, I have like my entire nation's disloyal. Well, so what happened is somehow all my subjects became vassals instead of the mix I had. I think it probably was because they didn't marry off my leader or something. Who knows, right? But it basically all my subjects became vassals and then they're all disloyal. So I like lost like not I lost like majority of my fiefdom somehow. I'm guessing it's because maybe I didn't real marriage and there's no heir or something. I don't really know. Enforce culture. Yeah, I just want them to culture convert for me. I didn't change my succession type. I haven't done that in this campaign. Yeah, I'm creating new fiefdoms just to culture convert for me. But I'm like pretty open to the idea of just killing them when they're done culture converting. So essentially I'm just like building cabinet actions, right? Like, that's essentially what I'm doing here. It's just like you know, I've got 5 more cabinet actions now. I'm guessing it's because I didn't I'm guessing it's because I didn't like marry off my ruler. Is there a way to automate that? I could care less about doing that myself. In fact, I even go to say I don't want to do that myself. You know? Wait, did I forget to... I don't remember now. Did I enforce culture? No. I'm guessing that's what happened. Like, I didn't manage my royal marriages, and so my guy died without a son, and that's probably what tanked my entire nation, to be honest. That's probably what ruined my campaign, in a way. Is that I didn't royal marry my leader. I guess. How long has this happened? 15 years? Sure. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I think that maybe is what, like, funny enough, like, tanked a lot of this run is because I was intentionally trying to split up fiefdoms and vassals, and it was fine, and all of a sudden everyone was a vassal, and it's like, it's not so fine anymore. You know? It's like, well, that's not good. You have this relative power is like ridiculously high, and they're like all vassals or a lot of them. But I'm not even worried. I think I'm just gonna murder them all slowly. Maybe that's how I'll use subjects in the like moving forward though. Well, I guess it's like bad for antagonism, but I guess I just don't care because I'm France, right? Yeah, like I could care less. Maybe it wouldn't be good as like a normal nation to do it though. Oh, I hate unions in this game. They're so it's like way more efficient to just murder somebody. All unions do is prevent you from killing the person you're trying to kill. Yeah, but it like you could just murder them. Like it's way better. And so you spend your time in EU5 trying to figure out how to get into a war with people that are in your union, so you can kill them. And it's like you can find it, but it's hard. Is there any cities that need to be eliminated? Who's this? Oh yeah, not me. I just want to integrate faster, you know? We could delete the cities. Still 7? Jeez. I don't know. I wish menus weren't like I hate the way a lot of menus like this are. It's like, okay, you can see all the locations, but you can't see who's who anymore, so it's like confusing as hell. Not really, they would just get to soil. No, I never do colonization. It's so boring. I can't. Who is this? Oh yeah, I mean that's all right. I don't think it is worth it at all. I think it's just like a money sink for no reason. So good. This is my new life. Just disloyal subject CV everyone. Yeah. No, it's definitely. I think colonization needs like a complete rework to be interesting. I think trade does too on the side note, but it's not that important to talk about. It's a completely different topic. But to be fair, like I don't think that colonization is so bad that it, like I don't know. I just don't use it. I just don't know if I care that much. Like colonization not being like great, I don't really care that much about it. I don't even like I just don't really care that much for colonization. Even like EU4, I don't really care for it. Oh, you're loyal, huh? Were you an appanage? Wow, a loyal subject? Crazy. The long struggle. I don't even know if it's. I don't even actually know if it's worth editing subjects. It's faster to just murder them. I think subjects are great for, you know. Like, yeah, I just gonna use them for extra counter actions, right? I think it's the issue with subjects in general, though. The subjects are just extra counter actions. Like I just literally made these 4 subjects to get 4 more counter actions, so I could culture convert, right? That's all I really want. Oh god. Yeah, it's broken. I don't know, who was that? I don't know, I didn't see. Why does this game do this? No, don't send the prisoners to assault the fort. Please, siege the fort. That's not what I want. No. What universe would I want that? Why do I even... I'm not crashing out yet. I'm waiting. I'm saving that for later. That mechanic is terrible, right? Can we agree? Or am I being rude today? The whole prisoners thing? Delete that mechanic from the game. Just remove it. Write an official apology in the forums and say, sorry, this mechanic was dog shit. We removed it. Okay, well, I'm being toxic. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Listen, if you had 103 disloyal subjects, you would be toxic too, okay? How did a journalist multiplayer go? I saw he was did a multiplayer. Are the subjects starting to do something? It looks like they're alive. The subjects may actually be doing something now. They, you know, they're like, no, you don't need to murder us. We're friendly. I don't buy it. You guys are dead. Yeah, they're still disloyal. Don't worry. No, you coward. Lucky you're a fiefdom. I just want to kill them anyways at this point, you know? Like, I don't want them to be loyal anymore. I'm past that. Like, I would rather just murder them. I don't even think it's worth. Some of this wasn't the right culture, though. Like, is this France culture even? Not really. Kind of. I guess most of it is. Should make more subjects over here, though. All this land is just like unintegrated. Yeah, I don't even want it. I just want them to culture convert for me, and then I'll kill them. Is already converted. Is this France culture? Yeah. Like I think the way is just get your people to culture convert for you and then kill them. That's the new strat. Like you integrate after they've done the culture conversion. I feel like that's reasonable. Like it's not that reasonable, but it's reasonable, you know. No, I don't care about that. Yeah, I walked over there and declared war. Naples isn't a subject. Oh, that's been done for years. I think, right? I mean, it's not quite done, I guess. Like, look at these locations, though. London has 456 English people left. Yeah, it's stupid. Look at how French everywhere is. Freaking insane. I never was able to culture convert with this, wasn't I? Because they hate me too much. Yeah. See, I think it's the way, though. I think this patch, actually, the new strat is just... You shouldn't integrate your subjects. You just murder them. But you want them to culture convert for you. Yeah, I don't want them to be loyal. I want them to be murdered. Oops. Like, they've already done the culture conversion for me, right? Like, their use to me is over. It's not quite waiting for that. It's just like, there's too many of them. I think this is the new strat. Yeah. I'm thinking like, you know, this is useful. Who are you? I don't know. I don't mind killing anyone that wants to be killed too. I don't. I'm not, you know. Yeah, I'll kill you both. And your friend over here too. Thanks for culture converting for me. You just gotta be on the ball with, you know, getting your CVs. I think I have a lot of these already, yeah. They're ready to be murdered. I want these guys to be disloyal. What the hell? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna make them disloyal so I can murder them. I don't care. I don't care if they could instantly dev to 100. I want them dead. Like if they had an ability to make every location in France 100 development, if I just didn't annex them, I would say no. Not a chance. And Cartel the Burgers here. Sure. I'm not gonna change our religion. That's for my other run. Annex. Yeah, all subjects will be annexed over time. All right. If I was just a little bit more on top of this, though, we wouldn't. We're kind of like getting at a subject debt right now. But I think, like, you know, moving forward, we'll know what to do. Like, you don't be loyal, guys. Not at all. I'll just siphon your money until you're not loyal, so I can murder you. We didn't have to play this game. You could have just been disloyal like the rest of them. But instead, I'll siphon your money until you're disloyal, so I can murder you. That's fine. Because it's the way. It's better to do. It's like objectively just better. Bro, Burgundy, kill yourself. Bro, that guy was like really close to annexing. That's triggering. He wasn't even disloyal, bro. Whatever. Burgundy's decided that he was free. But yeah, I think the future of subjects is we found it in this campaign. We don't annex subjects, we just murder them. Once they're done doing their conversion for you, right? Like they can culture convert for you, and then you just put them down. Like I'm gonna do that to all this land over here that we just got to, right? I should probably get like a wife though, so so they don't all become subjects. What is your opinion? I haven't really read a lot about it, but I think that Paradox is a game developer like any other that likes to focus on new features rather than fixing the current problem. Oh, I'll be right back. One sec. Hmm? But oh, sorry, I got sidetracked. So I think that their changes are in the right. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about having like a second capital. Like I don't know. I feel like a lot of what they're doing is invalidating their own mechanics. You know, like with control. You're like, I don't understand. Like, okay, so you have this control mechanic that's like incentivizing you from taking land away from your capital, but then you're adding a mechanic that's incentivizing you to take land away from your capital. So, what? Why? Like, I thought the point was that control gets better over time based on the roads that you have, and et cetera, right? Kind of decentivizing the player from blobbing a ton, right? And then you add a mechanic that's just like, just kidding, haha. Let's just have control wherever you want. You want to go to India? Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Who's this? But that's kind of like my first impressions is like, I don't really see the I don't understand why do it. Like, I think that it's like, I've heard the community complain about control, but I think they're just wrong. And Paradox seems to listen to people that are wrong. I know that's like, what's the word for it? Like, I shouldn't say that because then it's just, I'm no better at saying that I'm right. You know what I mean? If I'm out here being on my high horse saying that like, oh, these people are idiots, like I'm no more qualified to say they're an idiot than any other person, but I feel like a lot of times that's the way it is. It's like people are like, oh, I want Paradox just seems to listen to people that are loud. So I don't really think that we need this mechanic in the game. but I feel like it's something that people complain about, I guess. But what do you guys think? I mean, again, it's like I'm one person with an opinion, and I feel like my opinion is less valuable or less. I don't know. I feel like the community's opinion is more valuable than my opinion, but you know, bro, I was almost done annexing these guys too. I'm sad. It's really unfortunate. I was annexing these guys for years, and they just decided to support a random. I don't know what they supported even. They supported this guy down here, I guess. How does that make any sense? Why would they even know those people? I think the Vassal Swarm meta sucks. I agree. I hate it. Not only because it's like overpowered, but it's like tedious as hell. It's like the best method of playing is the most tedious. These guys weren't even disloyal is the thing, by the way. Because they're an appanage. So I'm just getting trolled for no reason in particular. Yeah, a lot of times I choose not to use the suffix too, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm not strong enough, you know? Or no, it's just so broken that you want to use it, right? I mean, I think I don't mind the secondary capitals. If I'm being like straight honest, I'm like, this seems like a good feature. It just doesn't address the frustration of the game for me. Like forts, CBs, combat, like levies and professionals, like that type of stuff is like really what's on the radar for me of like being important, that I don't even know why we're developing features that, like, I guess that's just me being frustrated a little bit, right? Like, I feel like there's like other issues to address that I care like 10 times more about than invalidating their own system of control. You know, like if I'm just being like kind of a dick. I don't really care if they want to invalidate their own system of control. Like, you do you, right? Like, if you want to just arbitrarily give us more control, that's fine. It sounds like with bailiffs too. They're just like, oh, you want to have more control? Sorry that we deleted bailiffs. We're going to undelete bailiffs. Okay. Cool. I think that it's just for me. Like, obviously, I think I'm speaking out of frustration in this own campaign too right now. You know, like, you know, to be like straightforward, I'm frustrated by this card campaign, and so I'm not like in the best. I'm not being the nicest I could be, right? But I think the biggest issue is like, and it's something that's like, I don't know, not talked about. It's like, you get into the late game and you fight Hungary that has 93 forts, and I'm not exaggerating. In fact, I'm probably underselling the 93 forts, right? How is that fun? And you also are forcing us to take every fort to get what we want in the war. Like, I feel like that is like 10 times more important to me of how you guys are planning to solve the fort problem. and the assault everything problem. Like it's not fun that the most optimal strategy is just to build infantry once you hit the age of the 4th age, right? And like just do that, nothing else. Like what are you going to do to address that? That's what I want to know. I don't really care about what you're doing with control. I want to know what you're going to do about the army system that sucks. Why are the people using levies in the Age of Revolution still? Why is it that I feel like that playing combat in EU5 in the late game is easier than fighting natives? I just did a video that's like 3 hours about what's probably the strongest formable line. It's Austria plainly releases Passau into Navarra, into Delhi, into Rome, I think. Exactly. Dart Flip. That's the issue is like the assault meta is like we're not mad about forts as much because we can assault them all, right? But that's like bad gameplay. It's not even fun at all. So it's kind of like you have this issue that's like, I don't know, you can't really, can you take away the Band-Aid? Like, it's almost like you can't take away the Band-Aid because the problem, you know what I mean? It's like hard to explain in words what I mean, but like, it's so bad that there's like 90 something forts and you have to siege them all. How are you planning to solve that? Because that, to me, that's like way more important, like to you know, the quality of my quality of life is playing the video game. Like, honestly, I think the early game isn't bad, like in the EU5 in general. Like the first age is pretty good, or the second age, I guess, right? But then you get to a point where it's like, what are you going to do about the assault meta? Because at some point, you will have enough manpower to just keep assaulting forever. So if you don't tie some sort of cost to it, that's not just manpower, you're just never going to you're never going to improve the problem. And then you have an issue of just like, okay, there's too many forts, right? I mean, sure, but I mean, is that an issue, or is it the issue the way that the forts are sieged? But that we would have a problem if the AI built actual armies, because we still would have the fort issue, right? Like eventually you're going to be able to win. Like, let's say the AI does build armies, right? And so you build armies, you win the war, but now you have to siege out literally 93 forts to get what you want in the war. And 93 again might be an underselling of like the issue, right? It might be more than that. Which is crazy that my exaggerated numbers aren't even good enough anymore, you know? Like that's the crazy thing. But I mean, and the combat itself is like, what are they going to do to address? Like, I'm sorry to tell you, Paradox, but like, people stopped using levies in the 1400s. Are you going to address that they use that's their main source of combat into the Age of Revolutions? Like, what are you going to do about that? Because I think levies should fully phase out from the game, like in 100 years. Like that's historical. But you literally are leaning into this because you have like research that persists through every age that involves levies, and it's just like, it's not fun. I don't know how to say it other than that. It's just not fun. Like I don't want to. I want to go into like EU4 is so much better in the sense because it's like when you go into a battle in that game, you know what you're dealing with, right? Except they aren't levies today. There's a difference between levies and what's the word? Conscription. Conscription and levies should be completely different. Because one represents some peasants, another represents trained people like that are in reserves, right? It's completely different. I mean, have you seen how you play the late game? You go to this menu and you go assault, assault, assault. You don't even look at the map anymore, the game. You're just clicking over here and assaulting. It's like cringe, right? It's freaking annoying. I guess I can take someone from Burgundy here. I mean, it's upsetting that they joined the rebellion, to be honest, but because I had like made pretty good progress on annexing them, and they were loyal. So I don't know why they decided to support independence of a disloyal subject, or they weren't even a subject. There's someone that I was just murdering. I'm like, game, why you like this? But I'm gonna kill this guy because he's a jerk. No, it's fair. I'm just saying, like, there are things that, like, really... It's just like that. It's like... I just don't know this. I wish they would just, like, talk about what their vision is for, like... Have they even addressed how dog shit the Imperialism CB is? Like, I can't even imagine that was playtested. You have to occupy the entire nation to get the Taking War score? That's laughable. Like, at that point, it's just, like, frustrating how bad that is. It's like, that should have... I don't know. I don't know. I don't have words to explain, like, how bad that is. You know? But just like, sure, they don't care about later ages, but like, how did that make it through playtesting? I could have tried to use that CB a single time and been like, this is terrible. Like, I like testing it a single time, you know? I'd be like, what are we thinking here? Like, the Taking War score is a joke. I know I'm being a little bit, forgive me for being a little bit aggressive or toxic. I think I'm more frustrated with the current campaign than the actual state of the game. I don't know. Maybe it's you. You ever thought about that? I'm kidding. Maybe you bring out the rage. Okay, but like, I guess what I find frustrating is that I think the game is really close to being really good. And if they would just make a couple decisions, like, the game is not that far away from being pretty good. I would say. But that's kind of like and I think that's what's frustrating to me is how close they are for it to being a good game. I wouldn't even say it's a bad game necessarily. It's a decent game, but it could be a great game. And it's like not crazy far off of, in my opinion anyways, it's not like insane, you know, like they're not insanely far away from that goal. I just don't deal with the revolution because I just don't get it intentionally, right? It's just crazy, man. How are they disloyal? Oh, is it because of just like need to improve relations? No, it has a lot of work too. It just like, to me, if the combat was really good, okay. I guess I'll tell you this. I think Paradox has the biggest issue with the game is that they try to do too much. Like I would rather that a couple mechanics were really, really fleshed out than they half-ass like half of their game. That's how I feel like how the game is. Right. And I know, like, you guys know that I like to like almost like venting, right? I'm not here to like tell you the game's terrible. I'm here to like vent my own frustrations. Yeah. Right. Right. I just, to me, I wish that they would just like lock in on a couple things. Like if they were like, hey, we're just gonna lock in on like the 100 Years War and like the League War, you know, like instead they try to like do so many things at once that they just end up like, I don't know. Like I feel like there's so many mechanics in the game that just aren't fleshed out well. But the game will improve for sure. Like I'm pretty optimistic. I'm just like, I think one of the most frustrating things is that they seem to have looked at their, not like, look at EU4 for example, right? There are things in EU4 that make sense and work that simply were not ported over into EU5 for some reason, and I'm just like, that to me is more frustrating than a lot of stuff. Like for example, like Reconquest. Reconquest should only give you the CB on the actual Reconquest locations. Or the HRE, like the Emperor's going and attacking, like this is an EU4. Sure, they're gonna put it next patch, but like, why is it that that was ever the case? Why does the Emperor attack the HRE? Like this is in EU4, that doesn't really happen. No, I don't know. But those are like some of the major issues, right? But just things like that, you're just kind of like, well, we know that this worked. Like for example, if I am playing the HRE and I try to call in Bohemia to help me fight the HRE, there should be a negative 1,000 penalty like EU4. It's just like, we've this is the follow-up game. Like why aren't we like, I just feel like we didn't learn anything. I don't know, it's confusing to me. Like we know these things need to be in the game from EU4. This is what made EU4 good. Yet we didn't drag these mechanics into the game. And I think the CB system was just like a billion times better than EU4. Like when I talk about what I don't like about the game, funny, I think that the things they took from the EU4 are the worst part of EU5. Like I think the building system's like way better. I like the control system. Like everything that they like outsourced to different games feels good. The stuff that they brought from EU4 feels terrible. Like, that's genuinely kind of how I feel. I'm like, I like the stuff that wasn't inspired by EU4. That's kind of where I'm at. Like that stuff is like, you know, that's where we see the biggest improvements is when you, but like the combat system copy pasted, and except worse. Like who likes the combat system in this game? Right. I just feel like the elements that, of the elements brought from EU4 are the worst implemented ones. And I'm talking about mostly combat, forts, casus bellis, things like that. Like things that are like definitely like, you know, these are EU4 mechanics. I think the cabinet isn't good. The reason I think the cabinet isn't good is because this is the cabinet 9 times out of 10, right? They're doing one thing all the time. It's like, that's not fun. You have like one thing you do in the cabinet, like, or like I like there being separation between, like in EU4, you can have, you know, you have missionaries that go out and convert. Like in this game, it's like that's not how that works. Like you can't have missionaries and you know, I don't know what you call people that do conversion, cultural influencers. I don't know, but you can't have both at the same time. And I'm like, I think it was more fun in EU4 when you could like do more than one thing. Like you could core at the same time as you were converting. Maybe you had to core those provinces first, which is like fair. But you know, you could have missionaries converting somewhere, or you had other people converting somewhere. You know what I mean? It's just like there's certain things like that. There's like, I don't think it's crazy hard to fix some of these things, but also, I don't even like the simulation perspective of like, what something that I don't like about the game is like culture. Culture is not simulated very well, right? Like this isn't realistic. 1508, and this is the culture. Like it's ridiculous, right? Like we're like all the freaking England and Spain are like 90% French now. It's like and yeah, it's like for a gameplay perspective, you need to do this to have, you know, like better stability and better integration and all that, right? But it doesn't really make sense from like a simulation perspective. I mean, you guys, what do you guys think? Isn't that weird? Yeah, humanist versus spiritualist, I don't like it at all because it's like you want, why can't you be good at both these things? There's just things like that where it's like, I don't know. I almost think like personally, my opinion is that with full cores and full cores is like, it shouldn't be tied to your cultural or your religion. It should be tied to a time gate, which I know maybe people wouldn't like, but like the idea being like, you can core your land, but it's going to take some while. Like it's going to take a while for that land to really incorporate into your nation. There's not really anything you can do to speed it up, or something like that. Because I think it's like weird that that's. I don't know. It's just a weird mechanic. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, no, I think that the feedback from the community is good. And that's why I think that they've like, you know, people say they shouldn't have been released, but I'm like, I think it actually is good that it was released because it'll get better faster with the community having its hand, you know, with you guys being able to give feedback more often. I don't know what like honestly, I don't know why it was decided to give content creators early access for like months and not the community more so. I just think it should have been communicated differently, but it is what it is. Like, to be honest with you guys, EU5 should have released as an early access game. But you know, they wanted money, and so that's not what happened, right? It is what it is. That's my opinion. Yeah, but we're not the only people that would have signed NDAs. You know, like I'm sure that a ton of people would have been willing to do that in like a closed early access. What even are these people? Oh. I think what would be neat is if, okay, here's my idea for levies. When you get into like the 1400 levies should recruit in templates. So like, you shouldn't just get random troops that spawn. You should get like specific army compositions that spawn at different places. That's what I'd like to see. So I just hate the chaos of, oh, you're gonna raise all levies, and then, you know, it's just like there's. I mean, I guess they're adding rally points or something, but even that, I'm like, I'd rather it be like we raise templates of guys. Kind of like Mercs, but it'd be like, okay, like here's a template right here, right? I want my guys to spawn in templates that I like, not like this because this is a troll, but like a balanced template, right? So I want my guys to like form in armies that are going to be like not painful to micro. Like I'm playing EU4 kind of, right? And I have the stacks of guys that I like want to have. Instead of trying to like sort out all the stacks of levies that are just like chaos. To me, it's just like pure chaos when you recruit your levies. I just want to. I want my guys to be in like I want to be able to choose the type of regiments that are going to be recruited too. Like, you know, and that's why I think levies are. They need to be like instead of levies, it should be like the other word that's the Vic 3 word, right? What's it called? So I feel like there's a massive difference between that. Like, you know, even I guess you like historically. You know the word though, people that exactly. That's what I'm saying too, Acorn. Like that. Conscripts, yeah. So what I'd like to do is have like conscripts, and you can kind of like choose what those conscripts are going to be like. Like, you know, you go in and you like train your people to be like archers or something like that, or you know, musketeers, and then those people will like report for duty at X location every time. Because the reality is levies are completely phased out in real life in like the 1400s. Because to me, levies represent like you just called the people, you know, you called in the workers to fight for you. They're not like skilled. Where conscripts is like what I would consider more like people that are trained to, you know, more so. Like they go back to work when they're not working or whatever, but like, you know, kind of like reserves, I guess. Like these people aren't like unskilled. Like they do have training, but also they're, you know, when they're not at war, they aren't, you know, they're working in the fields or what have you, right? But they do have like some trained experience, and they're a little bit more organized and that sort of thing too. I don't know. I guess I just like, here's the experience that I don't like because it's confusing. You are you go into a battle and you don't know what you're fighting against. Are you fighting against levies? Or are you fighting against professionals? Right? Like I want to go into a battle and just like it feel like I just like the EU4 version of where it's like, you know, you go into a battle and you would expect it to be even. Where in EU5 it's like you almost are trained to expect that you're going to be fighting levies and it's going to be a joke. Oh, building navies is so loud. I agree with that take. That is absolutely true. Is there any way I could ever like no. Mistakes were made. Can't believe I'm having to do this. Such a weird gameplay loop. Just cancel all the subjects. It still seems really valuable though. Cause you know, like you're integrating the land that's your culture, like super fast. At least for the most part. I think some of it maybe like, yeah, up here. Maybe some places that I still need to make more subjects, but I think my mistake was not having a wife. Maybe. Yes, exactly, Acorn. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you go into a battle and it's like, you don't know if you're fighting professionals or regulars. It's just very, like, confusing, for lack of a better word. You're just kind of like hoping that you win, right? You're like, I probably will win, but sometimes you fight all. I don't know. I think that's why I like you for more in the sense of combat. Did I not? I guess I didn't have a CB on these guys. Oh well. I thought I had a dissolved subject CB. Oh well. Parliament. Also, I think the claim system could just be like night and day better, right? I don't think it'll take that long to be that good. Like, I don't think we're like that far away from things being a lot better. It's worth waiting for the game to get better or just learn it now. I would probably, like, I don't know. Personally, I would just learn it now and it'll get better, but I also don't blame you for waiting. I played it in early access and it was like unplayable. Oh, I think that Parliament, I mean, you guys know my feelings on Parliament. I wasn't shy about that, you know, through early access and all that. If you guys know me for one thing, it's probably that I freaking hate Parliament. Like, it's like the worst mechanic. I think the game would be like way better without it. Yeah, tax season, like, I feel like that's so gamey. We're just gonna give you like double the money for like once every 5 years. Like, you know, 20% of the campaign you can have double money. Okay, sure. Like, imagine there is no parliament, and your ability to declare war. Like, this is my vision. No parliament, but when you declare no CB, you don't lose stability. It's just like no CB is just like your early game main way to go to war. Lutheran Reformation, sure. That's like what that would be like the vision for me. Like, it's still a cost antagonism to do, but like it's not destabilizing. That'd be what I would want. How did I not get any claims? I don't even care. Thought I had claims, but I guess they expired. Also, what's the deal with 4-year CBs? That's annoying as hell. Let me have a little bit of time with my CB. You know? Like, why do I have to have a CB for only 4 years? That's ridiculously a low amount of time. Give me a second, you know? Give me a minute. Oh, you guys want to know something that tells me that some people are out of touch? I shouldn't say that, but it's mean. I remember asking a question that was like, why are truces shorter in this game? Right? So I was like, why would truces be shorter in this game? Because you guys know they are, right? Truces. And you know what I was told when I asked the lead developer? What do you guys think they said? Eric's got the right answer. That's exactly what I got from Johan. I'm like, how out of touch are we? I was actually not even told it is. I was told that it wasn't. Like I was just being gaslit. Like, no, it's the same. I'm like, bruh. That's a real thing that happened. By the way. Because I asked like Johan, like, hey, why did we change the truce timers? I feel like they're a bit like short, right? Like, you know, because the max truce in this game is 10 years and a max truce in EU4 is 15, which seems a bit more reasonable. But I was told that they aren't any different when I asked. Yeah, peace deals are so much better in EU4. It's not even close. That's what I say, though, when I say I'm frustrated that they don't take what they learned from the game. Like, this is another example of that, right? Like, oh, we have a system that works. Why not just use that system? Or at least, like, take some inspiration from that system. But yeah, that was an experience that I had, and I was like, I feel like that's out of touch a little bit. When you simply just don't acknowledge or know that you increase the length of peace deals significantly, or you reduce the length of truce deals. It was a funny experience. I never went further than that, right? And I never responded and then been like, actually, you're wrong. Like I'm not confrontive like that. But I just remember that experience being like, okay. Just being told that they weren't, and I'm like, bro, yes, they are. What do you mean? I didn't even like, it wasn't like I said it mean. I was just like, I asked, like, hey, why did we make this design decision? You know, like, why did we change our like, you know, truce timers to be shorter? Doesn't it feel like I feel like in EU4 it had a, you know, 15-year truces seem a bit more fair than 10-year truces, because that adds up over time, right? Like if you're able to go to war, you know, that's what, 50% sooner? I just don't feel confrontive about that. I was just like, okay. I basically was just told that I was wrong, and I was like, I don't know. I don't feel like it was my place. You know? I didn't really feel like I wanted to, like, my point wasn't to be like confrontive about it. It was to be like, I was just asking a design question. Like, why is this? And then it was like awkward. It was like, well, no, we didn't change that. And I'm like, Okay. Fair enough. I'll see myself out. I just remember that because it was like things like that. I would just. I'm not very confrontive. I don't like I don't want to be a dick to these people. I like these people are nice. I want to have a good relationship with these people, so I'm not like trying to be a dick. Whatever, right? Can I have loyal subjects now? The dream. Are we back? I don't think we're back. Negative 50%. We're getting closer. Yeah, it's just like, what do you do? Like, I mean, I did like write like I remember DMing Yon one time about like the things I really didn't think were good. A lot of it had to do with the late game of being like, hey, this is like you know, you've like repeated mistakes from your past game, like, you know. Like I basically said like, hey, this feels a lot like EU4, and I know a lot of people wanted it to feel different. And so I wanted to address it to him, like, hey, like, what's the plan? You know, what are we gonna do with the late game and make it a little bit more, you know, because I mean, the standing joke in the EU4 was like, you know, you play for like 150 years, and I'm like, this feels exactly the same. I brought that up to him, like, and you don't like, you know, it's like hard to. I'm not again. I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick when I say these things. I'm like, hey, the community's really gonna want, you know, these things. I know they want these things, but yeah, it's tough, right? But I did ask some like design philosophies. Like I think I asked Johan like, why is it that we can take unrestricted land? Like, you know, in EU4 you have to border someone to take their land. Like, why did we make this change, right? Because I think it's like somewhat like I think it's not bad. Again, I was just more like asking for some clarification on the change, not like a hey, you should change this. More of like a hey, what was the design philosophy behind this? Because it's obviously a drastic change from your previous title, and something that I don't know if you know, like I don't understand if it's healthy for the game. I still don't really know if it's healthy for the game, having played it 1,000 hours, right? Like, would the game be better off if you couldn't take land in the middle of nowhere? And that's kind of like where I was at. Like, I'm like, hey, what's the design philosophy? And I think, you know, I did get an answer that was like, they felt like control was like kind of like a way to regulate that like enough that that they felt like they didn't need to restrict you in that way, which I would still disagree with because of the way, you know, certain mechanics work, but it is what it is, right? But those are like my early questions, like, you know, like the big like changes from game to game. Like, okay, what was the design philosophy behind this? Yeah, and that's like reasonable, but I think that the like, okay, you want to make the game 500 years. Um, that's just like really ambitious, right? I don't know. I feel like, for example, like it would have been smarter if the game ended earlier and then they added the potential for like future DLCs to do that. Because I would argue that the Age of Revolutions is like so poorly implemented that it almost should just be disabled. And it should be like a DLC later down the road that introduces like an actual good version of the Age of Revolutions. Same with the Age of Absolutism, to be honest. I think the first 4 ages are decent. I think the last 2 are not. And I think that is like a fundamental, like, yeah, it's an issue, right? You definitely have an issue there. Exactly. They're kind of like placeholder, which is like, again, if you just communicate to me as the player that that's the case, I don't even think I mind. I think a lot of the thing for me is just like the communication. Like if you come out and you say like, "Hey, the Imperialism CB is not where we want it to be," like that means a lot to me as a player. You know, just some communication to be like, "Hey, this isn't where we want it to be. Recognize it's an issue, and it's something we're going to look at in the future." Like just things like that. Sure, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, maybe the community is just too toxic. I don't know. I'm only speaking from my perspective and what matters to me as a player, right? It's just gonna like vary differently, you know, drastically from the majority, I guess. We're getting closer, guys. People are almost loyal. The fiefdoms are giga loyal. Some of the vassals are loyal. Someday we're going to annex everybody. We'll be free. I mean, we're looking pretty integrated-ish. Well, you say that, Acorn, but I think the issue, and the thing that I think is like, the game being, I think that 1 month of the community having the game is as valuable as a year of internal testing. So as much as we can say like that it should have been delayed, like I think the reality is like the path to the game getting the best, we're on that path. Yes, I think an early access situation would have been good, but I think that they wanted more money, and they probably felt like they couldn't justify selling a $60 title if they labeled it as early access. I actually have a conspiracy theory I was talking about. That I think that 1.1 was being worked on well before release. I could be completely wrong about that, and it's just you know, but I'm like, I feel like the changes, like when I first played the game in like I don't know April or something, right? Compared to release, the game really didn't change all that much from that time period, to be honest. 1.1 looks like it changed more than that. So I'm almost like, were they working on 1.1 like this, like a lot of like, you know, this entire time or something like that? Like I almost feel like they were, but could be completely off base that. But I'm like, I think the game looks like 1.1 looks like it's changing more than I saw change in 6 months or more. So I'm like, there's something feels different. Again, I could be completely off base with that. I just want to be a conspiracy theorist to be a conspiracy theorist for the sake of just doing it, you know. Am I finally through the subject crisis? I don't know. A solid maybe. Feels like I'm making slow progress. nothing outstanding, but I've you know, I've been going through the struggle as far as trying to figure out my subjects and all that. I think I just ended up with too many subjects for a minute, but I think it's somewhat getting better. Do I have an error? I think like not having an error was maybe the issue. But I don't know for sure. Oh, for sure. For sure. They probably did, yeah. I just feel like okay, like answer me this. We get access in, let's say April, right? Or maybe May. That's like somewhere like 6 months before release, right? And then like all the creators are like army templates. Where are the army templates? And they don't add those. Why? Is it because they feel like they don't have time for it in 6 months to do that? Like, well, that's reasonable, I suppose, right? It just seems like such a staple feature that it's almost like, to me, it's almost not acceptable for you not to include that in release. Again, maybe I'm being too harsh. But to me, it also seemed like obvious from like multiple content creators, like, hey, like there wasn't even a release date when we were giving that feedback, right? We didn't even know that. I mean, maybe they you know they probably knew the whole time when they wanted to release it, but it just seems like such a like an important feature. I think in a lot of ways, early access was the better version of the game, too. Did you know in early access you didn't have to take? There was no plus 100% cost when taking land if you didn't occupy the fort. Like I missed that. There also was like army attrition in early access. Do I realize I've been complaining about the game for an hour straight? I mean, I like to rant. What else do you want me to talk about? I'm gonna tell you how to live your life. I generally just talk about what people want to, like, you know, what people are writing about in the chat. I think I need to enforce culture a lot. How you should live your life? Oh, okay, I can tell you how you should live your life. Yeah. No, I don't. I mean, the reality is I don't really say that much negative stuff in my videos. I try not to be that negative. But I feel like streaming is a space where I can be more like, you know, open and vent a little bit. But I try not to have like a super negative approach on the game. Look, we're finally getting there, though. Our subjects are loyal. We've done it. We're free. I just had to murder half of my subjects, and the other half are loyal. Beef stream? Yeah. Let's create some beef with Generalist. I can't believe how slow Generalist plays. It's on, like, it's horrible. It's horrible. I don't know what negative things to say. The beef with Generalist is that he told me that we do a collab, and then we never did it. And so I'm blaming him for that. It's because he doesn't like me. He promised that we would have a conversation. A collab. He lied. Integrate. Yes, sir. Yeah. No, I mean, fundamentally, it's one of those things that's like, me and Generalist, we don't really compete against each other. If that makes sense. Like, his content and my content are like, I don't even think they're in the same circle necessarily. Like, he's not out there trying to max war score cost or something, right? Like, you know, 6 tag switches and or something like this. Like, it's not really. It's completely different to the way I play. Oh, it's over. Rebels in Sardinia. How do I forfeit? I think my subjects are a little bit more loyal these days, though. That makes me happy. I can use my subjects again. So the question becomes like, what is a reasonable amount of subjects that I can actually have? So I'm sure there, like, you know, there is some sort of like reasonable number. And like, do I resubjugate out this stuff so they culture convert for me? I could. Seems like reasonable. At some point, I'm like, okay, I obviously had too many subjects, probably, and I could have played this differently. But what would be the magic number? Because it seems like there's a sort of influx at some point where it's like you're chilling. Like, it's really weird. The game kind of should. I feel like the game should like how to say, like, you shouldn't go from being like able to have 130 subjects to not being able to have 80, because it's very confusing. Like, you feel like it's fine, and then all of a sudden it's not, and it's like, well, that was extremely not, or what's the word, like extremely uncomfortable to solve that problem. How could we make that curve a little bit more natural? Just like, it was like all of a sudden, I went from like being okay to being like, okay, this is a disaster. I'm losing money. My economy's in shambles because I am paying more in diplo spending than I'm getting from diplomacy, right? Which is still the case, but it's manageable now. Like, even if there are a lot of disloyal subjects, at least it's like, it's reined in a bit. But I did have a point. You say I still have a ton of disloyal subjects, but not, it's honestly just a handful in consideration of the entirety of the subjects. Yeah, something happened on that day, that historic day of 1537. We're like, F that guy. I do feel like we're finally getting into a spot that's less painful. I had to just murder so many of my own subjects for a while. I'm finally like, okay, this is feeling better. Do you expect the E5 to communicate its mechanics to the players? Honestly, I expect them... How to say? I don't know. I guess that's like a... I don't know the answer to that question. What do you think? I don't think it matters what I think. I think it matters what you think. No, I don't mean you in particular. I mean, like, more so like the community that plays the game. I'm not the average player. I'll probably figure out these mechanics from playing them way too long because it's my job. But for you, the average player, how would you like to be communicated mechanics? Oh, I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't tell you that at all. I feel like communications isn't their strong suit, but I also feel like it's never a developer's strong suit. So I can't really, like, be mad. Like, I almost feel like we live in a world where it's like, you're going to get, like... It's almost to the sense that, like, I wish they would... If you're asking me personally, I'm like, I wish they would communicate to me stuff so I could communicate it to the community. Like, I feel like that would be, like, at least something, right? Like, they don't need to spend the time communicating to everyone, but if they communicated to the creators, at least, then they could communicate to, like, people. I don't think that's a good solution, but it's, like, better than nothing. Like, the just idea of, like, well, okay, but that's why I said it's more important to ask you guys how you would like to have that. But yeah, there's things like that, like, stuff isn't very well communicated in this game in general. I feel like the most information is like basically, I feel like as a creator, I intake a lot of information from the community and then try to spread that information. Because people come into my chat and they're like, did you know this thing? That's like some super, like, thing I never heard in my life. And then I'll probably use that and then spread that information along and stuff like that. Right? Like, but I feel like that's like how stuff gets communicated. And yeah, I don't know if that's like good. It just like feels like that's kind of what happens, right? It's like word of mouth. But then when word of mouth hits somebody that's has more of an audience, then then it travels faster. So if someone comes to my stream and says like, hey, this thing's, you know, this is something you didn't know about, and then I make a video about it, and then more people see it, and then, you know, it just kind of like snowballs. Yeah, there's definitely stuff like that too. Finally making progress. It feels good to finally not have disloyal subjects. And Burgundy's almost done too, so. The good times. The hard times are behind us. Like I haven't made much progress in the last years, but what do you do? It's just tough. You just, you know, like you definitely are limited by, you know, I'm limited by my subject capacity and my integration speed and all that. Like I'm integrating as fast as I can, and I'm trying to, by me doing it, I think the change I could have made would have been like, I should have been integrating myself a bit more. But I do wonder the viability of like, it just seems so much more valuable to have subjects do it for you, because you know, if you're, I don't know, I'm like trying to figure out like what would be the best way. Like would it, it's just when they have so much better control when you give it to a subject that it's like there's so much more valuable at culture converting than you would be, because you don't have the control that they would. Like I'm not gonna have, you know, shit for control in Iberia. I just won't. I can't. But then it's like, well, then I need to culture convert Iberia as well. So is it just better to use subjects always? Like I don't know. But then, you know, you obviously hit a point where you have too many subjects, and then what do? You just hold onto the land and wait? I don't know. Because I feel like you should. Oh, I left minting off for so long because of inflation. Oops. We don't talk about that. It's fine. I also think that something's supposed to happen when I get rid of all my appanages, which I think is close. I feel like I'm about there. Yeah. Sometimes I change parliament type, but I feel like it's so expensive that I generally don't feel like it. Like I never know when a good point to lose 50 legitimacy is. You know. That's my issue with it. I'm like, I never know when like that feels good because it's so expensive to just lose 50 legitimacy. That I don't know if it's worth it, you know. But sometimes in the age of absolutism, I'll change it. But I feel like other than that, like not a lot. Few and far between that I'd actually want to change it. Yeah, there isn't much punishment for holding Uncored land for sure. But that begs the question: like, should you just hold Uncored land and do nothing with it, or like, you know what I mean, and just like wait for your subjects to cycle? Let's say that okay, I went over my subject limit here, right? That's clear. Maybe I should have like held it to like I don't know, 50 or something, right? But then would the answer just being, okay, I should have just held onto the Uncored land until, you know, and just keep that subject count at 50 at all times? Essentially, like as you annex, you just add more. I think I finally annexed Burgundy. But I've got to be almost done with the appanages, and then I think I get like some nice reward. I don't know, I've never really played these guys past the early game. I could just have 2 more. I wonder if you have to get rid of all your subjects or just the appanage. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off for a bit. We've stabilized our nation though, so I'm gonna jump off for a little bit and play some League. You know how it goes.